Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, I decided to change it up a little bit. I've got a lot going on, more than I could ever probably share with you all. And it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and so I just wanted to knock out this video for Sunday. I want to start by saying that myself, as well as Marshellia, you all might remember her from one of the videos where she talked about her wellness journey. We actually teamed up on a project together and launched a ebook. Now, the ebook for some of you all might seem to be coming from left field, but for those who have been following me attentively for a while now, you know that my first love before health and wellness was finance. Well, we decided to put together an ebook um, teaching you all how to very quickly and efficiently repair your credit. So just finished that up, and I know some of you all probably heard my story where I talked about how I was able to restore my credit from a 500 credit score. But I've decided to, start moving AHA more into that vein. Not to say we're going to leave health and wellness behind at all. I think that they are all one topic when you really look at it holistically, especially because I'm sure we've all heard about people committing suicide from financial burden and debt, as well as the stress that comes from not being able to grow financially, or you're trying to start a business or whatever the case is. So your financial health and your overall holistic wellness, they're hand in hand. And so we want to help to alleviate some of the stress that's on people's finances by starting with the credit score. And we're going to have much more coming in the future. Link for that should be in the description box or in the comment section. But today, I decided to do something a little different. I was looking like, what video topic should I do? And I decided to look at some comments in some of my more recent videos, some of the more popular recent videos, and respond to comments. So we're going to do some comment responses for a little bit and see what happens. This should be fun. So the first video I'm looking at is how to maintain your fasting weight loss deep dive. That's a video Steven and I just did. And one of the comments from at the top that really stuck out, just because of the sheer length of it, is from Blue Shrimp. It says, "Veganism is not a diet. It's a philosophy and a way of living, which seeks to exclude all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, entertainment, or other purposes. It promotes the development and use of animal-free alternatives for the benefit of animals, humans, and the environment. In dietary terms, it denotes the practice of dispensing with all products derived wholly or partly from animals." That's a pretty nice definition. Sounds like it came from Wikipedia. "I think most people are plant-based, which is a diet. Whole food and plant-based is a solid way of eating and a diet." So in this video, I think we just mentioned that veganism was a diet. And I guess Blue Shrimp is correcting us and saying that veganism is not a diet. And I think that it's very important that when we have these types of discussions, we understand the perspective. What are we talking about here? Because in modern society, veganism is generally accepted as a diet. Now, you're talking about maybe the um, origins of veganism, which you're completely correct. But it would be confusing for many people nowadays who claim to be vegans to not associate that with a diet, or to really understand the other part of veganism, because veganism has been skewed, right? So I agree with you, but by the same token, in the context that we're talking about it, it is a diet, and that's how most people who are watching the channel, that's how they would view it. With that being said, I don't personally think that veganism is necessarily, the best diet. I think that you're correct when you say that plant-based whole food is a better diet and a better way to go. Uh, but yeah, nice comment. So let's see if we have any questions in here. I thought that one had a question. So a lot of people thanking us for dropping this video. This is the one where we talk about Steve's journey a little bit. I think, well, Steve, whenever Steve comes on, he talks a little bit about his journey, but um, we talked about the class, the 40-day wellness class, which is, oh, I guess for those who are interested, the May class is nearly full. It'll probably be full by early next week or early this week. And June, we'll be announcing the June class soon. So if you're interested in joining, that'll be happening soon. All right, this next video is the do's, don'ts, and don't have to's of fasting, where I just talk about what you should do on a fast, what you should not do on a fast, and what you might think you need to do but don't have to do. Tiff said, just went to the doctor and found out that my blood pressure is high, 181 over 120 or something like that. It's stroke level. I'm water fasting in the meantime. The doctor tried to give me blood pressure medication, and I told him I knew how to lower my blood pressure naturally. I'm assuming. Well, she said I knew how to lower my blood pressure, and he asked how. What are you going to do? And I simply said fast. He looked at me like whatever. But I can't wait to go back and check my blood pressure after my fast and look at the dumb look and look at the look and look at the dumb look on his face. Sorry, I'm tired, y'all. It's 4:00 a.m. Yo, big shout out to Tiff. Definitely knock that fast out. That's good motivation to be able to see that look on the doctor's face when you do something that he considers impossible. I think it's funny how we have physicians who are at a place where they feel like they know it all. You would think that just from the standpoint of being a physician, and I feel like physicians partly have a scientific mind. I feel like that's a very safe assumption to make. And so if you're a physician and you have a scientific mind, you should always be at a place where you're interested in learning, growing, knowing more, and never feeling like you know it all, because at that point your scientific career is over. But I feel like so many doctors are at that place where it's like I know it all, or I might not know it all, but I definitely know it better than you. That's for sure. Which is interesting because at the end of the day, you know your body better than anybody does. It doesn't matter if a doctor is able to spend 100 hours poking and prodding you. You still know your body better than he does. So more power to y'all who are interested in doing that work, maybe experimenting with yourself and seeing what the results are. Most of y'all are just really just making comments, not really like asking questions. Ready to start my change. Thank you always for providing knowledge on how to do this properly. That comes from Jonelle Jones. Lou Queen says, I lost 15 kilos after your video. Thank you for your advice. You're very welcome. I haven't really been keeping up with our comments as much as I used to, but I did think there would be more questions in here. Okay, here we go. Is it all right to exercise if I'm doing a 5-2 or an exercise bike and push-ups? If you're doing a 5-2, you could certainly do some exercising. You know, the 5-2 is a pretty good regimen for continuing to do exercise and work. I usually do recommend that you give yourself about 3 weeks of the 5-2 before you start doing more strenuous exercise. Walking, jogging, hitting a bike, that's cool. But Jonathan was doing a 5'2" while he was getting his fitness certification, and they were in the gym. I mean, he was very very active, and if I'm not mistaken, he was lifting heavy at that time. So it's perfectly fine to do the 5'2" and do more strenuous exercise. Just try to allow your body to acclimatize to it first. Teresa said, "Chris, you're a rock star. Thank you. Appreciate that." Um, do I necessarily have to drink a whole gallon a day? Okay, so the thing about the gallon a day, it's more of a recommendation than anything else. So there's a lot of reasons why I promote a gallon a day and why many people promote a gallon a day. Part of that is because the body doesn't do a good job of utilizing the water that you drink. So from what I understand, the body's only using about 3% of what you drink, which seems to make sense because if you drink a gallon of water, you're probably going to pee a gallon, if not more, that day. So you're usually peeing out a lot of what you're drinking. And if you've ever drank, 32 ounces really quickly, maybe within 30 minutes or an hour, you usually have to go to the bathroom almost immediately. And that's letting you know that the body's not actually absorbing it. It's just it's just the water's just going in and out. So the reason why we say do a gallon is because your body doesn't retain much of the water that you do drink. So if it retains 3% and you only drink 16 ounces, you can see where that becomes a problem very quickly. Whereas if you're drinking a gallon, at least you're getting 3% of a gallon versus 3% of 16 ounces. I would say drink as close to a gallon as is comfortable. This comment, this comment's hilarious. Joel said first, except he's like the fifth or 16th comment. Okay. Someone said, I have urinary problems. Is long fasting worth it? Yeah, 100%. Long fasting, when you're dealing with like urinary tract infections or any type of infection, is going to be extremely beneficial because you're giving your body an opportunity to, number one, rest from doing, digesting food, and then oftentimes the food is a big plays a big part in irritating your system, which is why you are dealing with the infection. So by giving your body that extra resource energy to start dealing with healing the infection, as well as you're no longer exacerbating it by eating, those two things are huge. Let's go to this next video. Okay, how water fasting improved my sex life. This should be a AHA After Dark video. Look like we have a testimonial here. Raining said, "Oh, trust me, weight loss has increased my sex drive by like 1,000%. My wife and I used to have sex like once every other month. I'm 25 and she just turned 30, both asexual. So whether we have sex or not, it doesn't really bother us. But so far I've lost 124 pounds. Now I'm now it's like I'm always wanting it. It's honestly a weird feeling since I never really cared about sex. Lasting lasting a lot lasting a lot longer as well. I'm still 338, so still have 60 pounds to go to hit my goal. But man, every time my wife walks by or wears a cute outfit, I want to jump all over her. I'm loving it. Asexual, that's interesting. Um, so I mean, I don't know much about when we use the term asexual, because when I think of asexual, I think of a worm, which if I'm not mistaken, when I was in biology class, they taught us that the worms could like sexually reproduce, and that was asexual. I could be wrong. Anyway, is it a possibility that it's that, and once again, I don't know what asexual is, well, I'm just kind of assuming, is it possible that you're not asexual but you just had a low sex drive due to toxicity of your system, and now that you're clearing all that stuff out, your sex drive is going up and you care a lot more about it. I'd be interested to know, since you say your wife is asexual as well, I'd be interested to know what her health is like, and it'd be even more interesting to know if she started making some improvements to her health similar to what you're doing. Does her sex drive go up? Because I've noticed that that the health of the body and testosterone levels and things like that do tend to affect libido, sex drive, and just the desire to want to have sex. So, great comment. Glad to see the improvement. Hey, if you're asexual and you don't want it, but when you do it, you can get it in and perform at a high level. More power to you. And I did in this video, I did talk about how, it improved my performance and my drive and just everything. And I'm extremely grateful. And I think every man out there would be, and also their partners. Um, it's a really good motivating factor for those who don't have a whole bunch of weight to lose, or they're not maybe interested in some of the other benefits of fasting. That that sexual benefit is a big one. It's hard to ignore that. Nadir, I might be saying that wrong. Nadir said, "Thank you, Chris. I've been looking for someone to talk about this. Thank you. You're very welcome." More people just co-signing. I noticed my sex drive came back from 3 days of fasting. This is a great motivator. Listen, if you don't believe, just try. You can't. There's nothing to lose. Okay, last comment that I'm gonna read on this video. This is interesting, but for me, maybe because I'm still in my 20s, I still get the blood circulating down there every morning and randomly sometimes, and my stamina is better than most. For me, I've water fasted for a month straight, like 2 or 3 times, and as of late, when I do water fast, I do it maybe 5 days or so. Me personally, I get excited frequently and have to handle it myself when when I handle it. Okay, when I handle it with someone else, it can keep going for a while versus when I water fast, I still have the blood circulating down there, but rarely get excited or feel like doing anything. But when I do, it lasts a bit longer than it usually, but gets get real physically tired after like I did it, like working out, cardio, and I get and all that, and I get sleepy. So, um, sorry for butchering your comment. I'm tired. Usually I can anyway. Yes, it is common that although the blood is flowing and things like that, it is common for while you're actually in the middle of fasting for sex drive to be minimum. Some people experienced higher sex drive. Some people experience like a lower desire. For me, when I'm actually fasting, I typically have a lower desire for sex. As a matter of fact, when I'm doing any kind of flushes or detoxes, my desire usually goes down. And I think that's intuitive because I know that by having sex, you're exerting a lot of energy and you're releasing a lot of minerals and things that the body uses. So I feel like that's more intuitive by nature. But yeah, obviously, you're younger, you're more likely to have a healthy sex drive. It's just as we get older that it starts to go away, and everything, all that stuff you're talking about now, it tends to be a thing of the past. So if you ever get to a place where you're not getting the morning erections and all that stuff, you know where to look first. Look at your diet, water intake, and you might need to get back into fasting if you haven't been fasting. Okay, this video is getting kind of long. I've got this last video. It's called "Why 90% of People Fail on Their Fasting Journey." It's got 119 comments. I'll see if I can grab one real quick. Someone said, "Why did this video come up when I needed it?" I'm assuming why didn't it come up exactly when I why did this come up exactly when I needed it? Okay, okay. Why I don't know, cause like I'm in tune with all of you all. I'm looking for a question. Oh, Ali said, "Hey Chris, I've learned a lot from your videos, but bought your book for more info. Thanks for being an inspiration." Well, thank you, and I appreciate you grabbing my book. Karen said, "Chris, I am one that has a strong belief, but I lack understanding. I am on a quest for understanding. I am ready, but I want to be successful because this is a jumpstart to my new way of life." Thank you. You're very welcome. Understanding was big for me as well. And, because I have an analytical mind, the more I understood, the easier the process was. May said, "Checkmate. You brought this one home to me, Chris. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. I'm glad that it hit home. I'm always swinging for the fences. Ask Steve. Look, every video I do, I want to make sure somebody gets something out of it. I don't know if this one's going to be one of them, but maybe. Okay. If I see one with a question mark, I'll grab it. Otherwise, ugh. By the way, man, I love y'all. The community, just as a whole, the AHA community is amazing. Anybody who's ever looked through our comment section, you can see it's just a great group of people. That tend to be drawn to this group. Okay, last question. It was the first one I saw. Sandra said, "How can I contact you, Chris?" Well, you can contact me by emailing me at chris at ahealthyalternative.org. And if you have any business inquiries, you can email me there. Also, if you're interested in doing like a consultation, you can go to ahealthyalternative.org and you just click the consultation tab and you can set up a consultation. I've got a couple options if you just want to ask, a quick question or two. I've got a 20-minute consultation on there, so you've got a couple different options, but I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. All right, y'all. Thanks for going through this with me. Didn't have as many questions as I thought, but I love reading y'all's comments, and I want you to know that I don't respond to all the comments like I used to, but I do my best to view the comments. So, if y'all say something in there, I see it, but some of the comments, especially on the older videos and stuff, it's hard to keep up with it all now. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Check out that ebook if you're interested in credit repair, getting yourself financially back on track. Super quick, super concise book, very powerful. We've got some amazing tools in there. 24-hour credit inquiry removal and account removal, and yeah, I'm learning so much. It's so deep because there are Congress has put codes and protections in place. There are laws that protect us as consumers, and most of us don't know this information. So I'm really excited to start finding a unique way to kind of disseminate this information to y'all, and this is just the start. All right. As always, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and the application of knowledge is power. I'll see y'all next time.